What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, we are going over Decentraland mana as its price has absolutely exploded just like we said it would in yesterday's live stream. In yesterday's live stream, I was talking about the fact that we had already seen the breakout for mana. I said we already saw the breakout. We saw the clearing of this downward sloping resistance level for this descending wedge. And I said now that we've seen the breakout, although we did see the Evergrande news, this door is open. This window is open. And now once we get the breakout, we're gone. We said that almost exactly in this live stream. We bounced. We saw it close at the line again and push through it, Evergrande. What this tells me that the window is broken. Now, in that video, we laid out this green line at $3.47, and the reason that we laid that out was because that was a massive level of resistance as provided by this triple top back here. And what you can see is that on this breakout, we executed near perfectly straight to our line, and now we are looking at a bit of a pullback. Now, a lot of people are asking me, Tyler, is it too late? Should I buy it now? Should, it broke out. Should I get in? And I always try to tell people in the most least rude way as I possibly can that you have to stop being so late. Okay. I don't know how else to put it, right? I told you guys in the live stream yesterday, when this thing breaks out, look for that back test of support. The back test of support is going to send this thing up. We came down to our key level of support at our Fibonacci 618 to 786 zone. We touched it. We took off. Now is not the time to be buying. Okay. Now let's talk about that a little bit. If you're looking to get in on the big move because it may continue upwards, likelihood is it's going to roll before anything else. Okay. Meaning it'll probably come back to back test some support at some given point before continuing back up towards $5. It will present a better buying opportunity very soon, I do believe. But whenever we do these trades, whenever I'm talking about on the channel, look for the breakout and you got to get in. You got to stop being so hesitant with certain things. I'm not a financial advisor and you can do what you want. But at the end of the day, when you see a breakout of this nature, you can't wait till it's way up here to finally, gather the courage to get in. You know what I mean? You got to set your alerts and you got to have the confidence in your own technical abilities. And with that being said, is right now the time to be buying? I would say it's extremely risky. Okay. Now, realistically, in the long term, sure, there is a massive amount of growth potential for mana. I do believe that we are going to see this thing possibly push back up to a new all-time high before the end of the year. I have no doubt about that. But buying right now while it's starting to see this big green move, yeah, that's incredibly risky, especially considering the fact that we've really not come back down to backtest any major levels of support. So what I would be looking for right now from mana in terms of how I would be playing this, say I did miss it, say I just wasn't paying attention and I missed this big move and I want to get in. Well, how would I do that? Well, let's kind of figure this thing out and let's talk about what we're seeing, and maybe it'll provide us with the ability to see, okay, maybe there is a buying opportunity here. Well, the first thing that I'm paying attention to right now is the daily RSI. This is going to tell us a lot about what we need to know. So what we can see on the daily RSI at the moment is that we are setting still a lower high. Now, this has not been a confirmed high yet. It's not rolled. It's not put in that top at any point yet. And so there is still the possibility of mana continuing up and putting in that new high. Okay. But at the moment, what we're seeing is still a lower high. The RSI is not moving in tandem with the price enough for it to be 100% a healthy move to the top side. Now, what that tells me is that until we're able to do that this move is not, supported that much by strength, right? This isn't the strongest move ever. Now, I know it looks super good and it looks fantastic in terms of being green, but what it tells me is that typically when we see these bearish divergences, that it'll pull back at some point in order to try to go correct that, okay? So what I'm expecting right now is one of two things is going to happen, and you can play this off of these two options. The first option is that it's going to come back and roll. Now, I think that this is one of the more likely options. I'm going to give you guys and say it's a 60% chance that we do see a bit of a pullback here. Now, looking at the chart, it does seem as if we have some type of W bottom formation here, right? Something very similar to this. Now, this Evergrande news did push us way a little bit further, but without that, you can see that the support was established on a key level. And so that kind of gives us something of a W bottom. Now, typically when we break out of these W's, boom, 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 we will come back to backtest this key level of resistance sitting right around $3.08, which is where we put in the middle of that W. Now, I think that if we are to roll here and not be able to get a close up at $3.47, that we would push back down towards 308. And if we are able to find some support on top of this previous level of resistance, that's the time to get in. Now, the second option that can happen is that we get the highest close that we've gotten before. This is another option. If we start to look at the 4-hour charts and we finally get a close over, let's go ahead and let's just push this all the way up towards $3.60. So it's going to be a growth of, let's see, from here, that's a growth of about 7 to 8%. If we're able to go in and put in a close on the 4-hour charts above $3.60, that would represent the highest 4-hour close that it's ever put in. And I believe at that point, we would be possibly looking at the price working its way up and correcting this daily RSI divergence, which could be a sign that it may continue back to the top side and it could be a good time to get in. That is even more risky though. That's a much more risky play than waiting for the back test of support, because now at that point, once it's put in that new closing high, likelihood is we're in price discovery, and anytime you're in price discovery, a big retracement could happen very fast. Okay. So right now, what I would be doing if I was you, those are your two options. But what I would be doing is allowing this thing to go and waiting for it to come back. I always talk about these bus stops. If you try to jump on a bus when it's going 45 miles per hour down the highway, likelihood is you're either going to get hit by the bus, you're going to miss the bus and fall right on your face, or you're going to get sideswiped by the bus and knock some of your forehead off, right? But if you wait for that bus to hit a bus stop, this is a bus stop, this is a bus stop, you wait for it to slow down, even if it gets a little bit ahead of you and you got to catch up to it. But when you wait to get on that bus at the bus stop, there is a much higher chance of you safely entering that bus, and the bus is the price. And what that means is that we let this thing go. We let it go, we let it cool down, we let the price stop, get to a support level, a key support level, and then from there, it takes off. Because you can see it is establishing support on short-term resistance levels. Look at this. We came up to this level, use it as resistance, broke it, support, continuation upwards. So be looking for the establishment of support. It's going to come back down and look for some support. And on that support establishment, that's the entry, not on these big green candles. Okay. And so with that being said, I will of course keep you guys as up to date as possible. Look, in the long term, I believe Mana has extreme potential, and I think it's only just getting started. But realistically, trying to buy this thing while it's taking off puts you at an incredible risk of making a really, really emotional decision that's going to cost you a couple percentages over the next 24 to 48 hours if it does see a roll, especially with the rest of the market being so red. So with that being said, of course, I will see you all very soon in the next video, so definitely do stay tuned. I hope you guys did enjoy today's update, and I will see you next time. Peace.